good. Hogs by 1. State's got the ball. 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Kugel, right side, trying to take Richmond off the dribble to the basket, knocked away. Melendez picks it up, no good at the horn. Arkansas wins. Arkansas wins at the horn. Melendez tried to follow it up and went off the glass, no good. The Razorbacks have survived. 93-92, the final score. They're going crazy at Bud Walton Arena.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
The streets are paved with tourists, and the record companies flourish.
We just want to let y'all know we're going.
You feel that way? That was Dusty Hannis, I think, after the 2017 season, as the Arkansas Razorbacks got a 1-point victory over Mississippi State Saturday afternoon. And, man, it was something. That final sequence, really not just the final sequence, but the last couple of plays on both ends of the court were awesome. And Arkansas finds a way to defeat Mississippi State, moving to 8-10 in conference play, setting you up for a battle with the South Carolina Gamecocks Wednesday, 12 o'clock. Here's the nice thing about this week. You're the first game every single week, or every single day this week if you keep on winning. 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock.
Well, that's good for us. It's not. It means you haven't put yourself in the primetime seed. They don't normally put the best teams at noon, so you'd probably like to have a little more primetime spot. But I hear what you're saying for the convenience of the show here.
Well, I'm more thinking about you hate being behind any game. There's none of that. You'll start every. You complain every time it happens, and I agree with you.
It's going to be great for a radio audience. It's not going to be very good for a lot of us that, can't necessarily block off 2.5 hours to watch a basketball game in the middle of the day. So I hate it for the fans that may not get to see it the way they would normally see it. Lewis Automotive Group hotline open on a Hot Take Monday, 877-377-6963. Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV. The spring camping season's here. Don't miss the NWA RV show and outdoor party. It's coming up April the 12th. We'll be telling you more about that. It's on West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers behind Nukes. It'll be brought to you by Wheels RV and Moix RV. They're teaming up for the best brands like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and more. Plus, you'll see Winnebago's there as well, on-site financing. More details coming. Mark your calendar, April the 12th and the 13th. It's the NWA RV show and outdoor party.
So everyone's planning on this team being an NCAA tournament squad. I just got an email from the University of Arkansas, I guess the Razorback Foundation, that sent out basically a requesting NCAA tournament ticket request. We talked about it this morning pre-show. I think after, again, they sealed the deal, despite what could happen against South Carolina at 12 o'clock, you just feel that that's the case. And I know things can happen. Various mid-major teams in their conference tournament, maybe you have some at-large teams in other conference tournaments that get qualified by winning their same conference tournament. But Tommy, there would just be there would have to be like 20 things that go wrong for Arkansas in order for them not to be in the NCAA tournament next week.
Number one on that list is losing to South Carolina, so don't let that happen. And I think you can feel a lot more solid about it. I think it's like 90%, but it's not 100. I think they're in the tournament, but I'm not on the committee. But I think one thing that could unravel your hopes and your plans right now would be to lose to South Carolina and to do it in similar fashion to what you did on the road at Columbia. Has it been 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever it's been now? And I guess it's a week ago from last Saturday. That's what you can't afford to let happen. So you want to minimize and eliminate probably a lot of the other things that could keep you on the outside looking in. Well, start with number one, and that's beat South Carolina.
It's pretty obvious who the player of the game was, and that's Jonas Aidoo.
Player of the game. How about him?
He was awesome. Jonas Aidoo, double-double, just unbelievable throughout. And you think about the injuries and stuff they had. He had 21 points, 4 dunks, by the way, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks. And I know Cal was really happy to give him the game ball after the game.
Everyone to sign this real quick. It's a game ball for Jonas.
I think what's starting, and I saw this in the game notes, and I thought this was right. You've now had 4 games with the same starting lineup, Tommy, which I think is important for continuity. And you think about just having that same with DJ, John L. Davis, Carter Knox, Trevor Brazile, and Savannah Avicic, and then Billy and Jonas kind of know the roles that they're going to be in coming off a bench. depending on if DJ's in foul trouble or Big Z's in foul trouble or Trevin is in foul trouble like he was. Trevin got 2 fouls in the first, 3 minutes of the game?
Yep, early.
And
that's what gave Adu a chance to go off like he did.
And for him to step up in a situation, Trevin had a great second half. I think he had all his points in the second half, if I remember that correctly. So a lot of guys stepped up in this game. You look up and down the box score for this Arkansas team. I mean, you had several guys in double digits throughout. Billy Richmond had a career high in assists in SEC play and a career high in points in SEC play this past game. So a lot of guys did what they needed to do. And for Jonas, like thinking about everything that he's been through, he just talked about he's healthy now.
It has to do with everything. I mean, before the games I was playing in, like my foot was killing me. I could barely move, but now I can move now. I mean, I still have a little bit of pain, but it's definitely tolerable. And I mean, I'm just thankful that that pain is starting to go away finally.
And you had said something a couple weeks ago, like when you have a foot injury and you're still running up and down and having to play on that, there's no rest. I mean,
it's taking all the beating, and you can't condition. That's it. You know, it's not like you can get on a treadmill. I guess you could get on a stationary bike and do some conditioning that way, but that's not getting basketball. You know, basketball's a motion sport. It's about running. It's about lateral movement, and all of that puts stress on a foot that already has an issue. So hopefully this thing's getting to a point where, you know, he can play without thinking about it. Hard to not think about something when it's in pain. You know, it's at the front of your mind. So him playing 32 minutes and having the kind of performance he had is a good sign. You're still at a point where you got 7 players, and you know you mentioned 5 of them in double figures. That's got to be something we're saying a lot. I don't know how many games you can win the rest of the way if you don't have 4 or 5 guys in double figures with the level of competition. I mean, honestly, we say this in baseball sometimes or often in postseason baseball. Hey, you know, once you get out of SEC play in the tournament, you know, it's a little bit easier in that regional round as far as level of competition. Doesn't mean you're going to win your regional. Well, is that kind of true with basketball, even though you're probably going to, you know, projected, 10 or 11 seeds, what I've seen so far by most, which is actually better than 8 or 9, because then you don't have to play the 1 necessarily in round 2. But, you know, you're going to play a team that's probably not as good as what you've seen on average in the SEC in the first game of the NCAA tournament.
So you're playing the worst team in the SEC this Wednesday in South Carolina, who clobbered you, by the way, and you're hoping there's a little revenge factor in addition to just playing a lot better against the Gamecocks. Again, 12 o'clock. If you win that, you'll take on Ole Miss the next day, Thursday at 12 o'clock, same time, same channel, SEC Network. And if you somehow win that, you win the Auburn game. I say that to my hot take is, and I told you this before we came on this morning, if you watch, like, no team has started on Wednesday and won the SEC championship game. Georgia did it back like the pre-Wednesday stuff, I guess, and it wasn't in Nashville. You've had teams that have gone on runs, but not necessarily in the SEC. UConn comes to mind for me, and North Carolina State being another team. By the way, Kevin Keatts got let go from them 1 year removed from the Final Four. I'm like supremely confident they're going to win these first 2 games. Because I think I know Ole Miss gets to practice in Bridgestone. They'll practice at a high school or college facility in Nashville. But I really do believe that Arkansas-Ole Miss game was close and Ole Miss prevailed last time in Bud Walton Arena. But my hot take this morning is they're getting to Friday. Like, we're going to be listening and watching these games on Friday. And Arkansas is going to be involved in that. Now, my hot take does not extend past the Auburn Tigers. The buck stops there. But I truly believe that this team's going to win 2 games in Nashville. You're going to head home after a Friday loss, and you're going to have some confidence heading into the NCAA tournament, where at that point, there is no debate. That would be another quad 1 win you get against Ole Miss. You are an NCAA tournament team. It just comes back to the seed. There's not really a debate right now, but in the back of your mind, you're just like, well, I hope this doesn't happen. But that's my hot take this morning.
I don't have it printed out here, but you know their quad records. You don't have a loss below a quad 2 loss. So, I mean, you're in good shape in that regard. I tend to agree with what you're saying. You'd have 21 wins at that point, chance for your 20th win against South Carolina. Again, you want to open the door back up, or let me say it backwards. You want to close the door on any doubt about making the tournament, beat South Carolina. I still think the one thing that cracks the door open to not make the field is playing South Carolina. And, you lose to them twice. That does not make a great case for you I'm not saying it will put you out, but it doesn't help your
No,
cause
it does
in
not.
any way, shape, or form.
When they
You
should.
beat South Carolina. You rectify that one major blemish in your record over the last 30 days, and you really put yourself, I think in a firm footing, regardless of what happens with Ole Miss.
Yeah, and you want to be, as they talk, how they show the worst losses or bad losses. Like it's bad enough that South Carolina's on there once. You don't want them to be on there twice, like you're talking about when they're comparing tournament resumes or whatnot. What is your hot take here this morning on Hot Take Monday? You call or text us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963. I do have some bad news for everyone, though. Clay Henry, features editor at Whole Hog Sports, will not be joining us this morning because he has been detained by, he said, spring breakers and the amount of people in the shop is how he called it. So evidently this is a big,
we'll get with Clay later
big
in the
day and week, but we'll have him on, like Tommy just said, later on in the week. So Arkansas basketball was not the only epic conclusion this weekend. Alabama-Auburn goes to OT, and that's where we get to our opening drive.
Sweet shot, one for Tennessee. Is someone doing it today? Oh, Sears. Just did it. Are you serious? Clark Sears on the road with the winner for Alabama, and they get the revenge they wanted. Crimson Cranes in front of the Jungle.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
All right, so Matt Jones and I were doing Hog Reaction, and that game's going on simultaneously. So just keeping an eye on what's going on between Auburn and Alabama. Ends up going to Auburn, takes like a fall away shot at the jumper in regulation, and then Sears has that opportunity in the end. And I felt like, Tommy, that Alabama was going to get them back. That doesn't, Auburn's still a number one seed. They're still the number one seed heading into Nashville. But I feel a lot better if I'm an Alabama fan this morning about their NCAA tournament Final Four chances than I did prior to that.
And I'm not trying to say it's Duke, North Carolina all time, but this right now, snapshot for this year, snapshot for maybe the last couple of years, is the best rivalry in college basketball. And that's probably saying more about North Carolina's decline. But Duke, North Carolina is not as good, and they played that night, 20-point game? I mean, when you have two amazing games between these two in-state rivals that are going to both be in the running for one's going to be a one seed. Yeah. Alabama's in the running for one of those spots and probably will get one. They're playing games of consequence, games that matter. Auburn's got the regular season crown locked up, but that game mattered a lot. And I'd say right now, Auburn-Alabama is, at least for this year, the best rivalry in college basketball.
Yeah, the North Carolina game, they made it a little closer than what it was in Durham, but it was still, it's still a 13-point game, and it wasn't. If you watched it, it was 20 points, a good chunk of that basketball game. So, I know some people were mad that they had game day there and everything else when while branding is more over time, North Carolina and Duke right now in the snapshot that you're talking about, they should have been in Auburn, Alabama for that game, which was another epic conclusion to that game and everything else. The SEC-wise, Oklahoma got a win over Texas, keeping their tournament chances alive. You think about the bubble-wise, Georgia beats Vanderbilt this weekend. That helped Arkansas in the sense that you got the highest seed you could get on Wednesday, because you had the tiebreaker over Vanderbilt. They were one game above you. They lost, so you got tied up against you. So the Razorbacks benefited from that. Georgia and Oklahoma still, again, fighting for their NCAA tournament lives. I'm just ready for, not just Nashville because of the pizzazz and like the feel of what it's like. There's already huge SEC contingencies in the Music City with the amount of alumni that make their way to Nashville, Tennessee. And I love NCAA tournament sites, but it really, truly is a great week to go to the Music City. It's a fun time. The arena's on campus. And, Tommy, this is going to be the most competitive it's ever been in Nashville based on how many teams are actually vying for NCAA tournament spots.
I just don't know how many teams that don't have the double bye will get through. Auburn, Tennessee would probably be at this point the most likely to lose on Friday just because they haven't played well lately, and they perhaps would play A&M again. Texas Vanderbilt winner plays A&M. The winner of that game would play Tennessee. But with all the rest and all the time to get their legs under them, Auburn, Tennessee, Florida, and Alabama, I don't know how you could really see those teams all four of those teams not advancing to the SEC semifinals.
So Florida and Auburn have all but locked up. Auburn has. Florida's pretty much locked up a number 1 seed. Bama's on the 2. What's interesting about Alabama is you had a great game against them. You ended up losing. I say great game. You had a really good end to the second half where the Razorbacks came back and felt like you had a chance to win. In Joe Lunardi's latest bracketology that he released at 10-something yesterday a.m., he's got you matched up against the Kansas Jayhawks in Lexington, which is intriguing because that's who you played 2 years ago. You've got some NCAA tournament history there. Bill Self and company not having a great season. The 2 seed you get matched up and pitted up against is the Crimson Tide, which kind of like, how SEC baseball, you try and avoid having SEC teams in the supers. But when you have as many SEC teams as you're probably going to have, it's going to be hard to avoid those games till the Sweet 16. They're going to do their best, but the NCAA Tournament Committee has so many things they have to account for, travel for the higher seeds. They want to be closer to these venue sites and whatnot. So I'm going to be intrigued how many SEC matchups we have in round 2, depending on how, and in Sweet 16, depending on how many make it out of these first couple.
There will be
games.
some, but I don't think it'll be more than a couple. I mean, they're going to try to avoid putting, like you said, multiple SEC teams in the same pod, the same
and
sub-regional.
they do. But for example, SEC baseball wise, so in 2018, or 2019, you whacked Ole Miss on the way to the Supers. 2018, you whacked South Carolina on the way, and I say Supers, to Omaha. 2018 did the same thing in South Carolina to Omaha. So they try and avoid it, but sometimes it's unavoidable with the amount of play or with the amount of teams, and that's the same scenario and setup for what's going to happen here. Is they're going to do their best to mix it up, but there will just be inevitably some early matchups.
And you may be right, but let's see, because there's 16 4-team pods there, if you will, in first and second round, sub-regional, however you want to describe it. If 10 or 11 make it, they could spread them out, but does that hurt the integrity of the seed lines? Does it hurt the integrity of the bracket? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be. They're not going to put 3 or 4 or 5 of these where it could be SEC versus SEC in round 2. But if you tell me there was 1 or 2 and Arkansas was one of them, that wouldn't surprise me. When you're one of the last teams from the league to get in, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt. But listen, ask Bruce Pearl, ask Nate Oates. I don't think they want anything to do with the Razorbacks in the second round.
Yeah, and
they would. There's other teams they'd much rather play than Arkansas as a 9 or a 10 or 11 seed or whatever they end up.
And I'll go back to the point you just made 5 minutes ago. It's like these SEC teams that have been clawing and scraping for potential NCAA tournament berth. Their first round matchup, it's not the case at all, but might be worse than 3/4 of the SEC teams that they played this year. So it'll be interesting to see.
Higher percentage than that.
It'll be interesting to see how many SEC teams. We a lot of times see 4 teams in Omaha, Nebraska, 3 or 4 teams from the SEC. How many SEC teams will not just make it to the Sweet 16, but to the Elite 8 and maybe beyond? All right, that is your opening drive here this morning. Always brought to you by Ethan Adamson and First Financial Mortgage. I know him and Miranda took their kiddos to the game this weekend. It was their daughter's first game. What a first game to experience as a young one. And I do want to get into some seating stuff coming up in a bit because I know it was kind of a sad day for some fans and whatnot. But Ethan and his daughters and his wife, they had a great time. I can tell you that from my personal experience, Ethan is my mortgage lender. He answered every single question. I actually was talking to a friend this weekend about one of my old roommates who used Ethan as mortgage lender. And Ethan found a loophole of sorts to help him save money. So when it comes to questions, he has the answers. 479-782-9300 is his number. 479-782-9300. Over 300 5-star reviews. Check him out online, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender. State championships this week, Tommy. Those were decided. A good chunk of them were decided this past week. Hot Springs going to be the basketball destination here with the Razorbacks concluding their regular season.
Yeah, you had state semifinals that were in 2 sessions Saturday at all the state tournament sites. So we can go over a list of that. A lot of teams that are in our combined listening areas that will represent their towns and their conference and try to play for a state title. High school basketball championships begin Thursday at it's Bank OZK Arena now, I believe. So it will be there on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in Hot Springs.
And Harding, I almost said Harding Academy. Harding University ends up winning the GAC championship on the men's side of things. So congratulations! I know we were having some fun with the Bisons and also the women won it as well.
Yeah,
So
Harding double dip.
Harding sweep for the Bisons this weekend. So congratulations. That was a fun. I'm glad it's going to be at Fort Smith Northside, their facility, their gym next year. But that was an awesome event, and seemed like there was a lot of people in attendance that were not just fans of the university or alumni, but a lot of fans that just were here in the area that took advantage of a great tournament.
What I could tell and what the Will Pruitt and his team said, I think is their best crowds of any of the championships. One was a overwhelming success to have that tournament right on the border, and man, I think
he
that's
said
be
the center
great moving
point.
forward.
How close was Fort Smith to the center point?
He said Arcoma would be geographically the exact center point.
And how
Arcoma is, I mean, it borders the city of Fort Smith.
I was going to say it's about as close
the
as
west
it gets.
side of Fort Smith.
Yeah,
So.
it's about as close as it gets. So again, that was fun this past week. We're headed to Nashville. We'll tell you more about that in the coming weeks. And wherever Arkansas ends up in the NCAA tournament, we will be there live as well.
Hey, download the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell and take that with you, even if you're headed to Nashville. Taco Bell's new Caliente sauce made with red jalapenos is the spicy side of the Cantina chicken menu. Try it today at Taco Bell, at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
All right, so when we return, we got our Hog Update. Going to hear more from John Calipari in the win. Baseball team swept Portland this weekend. They've got one more midweek game against UCA before they take on Ole Miss. They travel to Oxford for the first SEC series. I know SEC baseball people are really excited about that. Plus, we'll get into some more stuff. We'll talk about tickets and the setup of the NCAA tournament, also SEC as well. It is a Hot Take Monday. What is your hot take this morning? Following Arkansas's 1-point victory over Mississippi State.
You're listening to the Morning Rush on a Hot Take Monday, presented by Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
On a cattle ranch, calves aren't only raised by their mother, they're raised by a community of farmers, ranchers, and veterinarians committed to giving them the healthiest, most comfortable life possible. Because for cattle farmers, ranchers, and the moms of those baby calves, animal welfare is the top priority. Together, we bring more. Beef. It's what's for dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers. This message courtesy of the Arkansas Beef Council and Beef. It's what'sfordinner.com.
This is former Razorback Todd Day, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. This is the best time of year to save on a great selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus, act now and take advantage of $1,000 cash your way on select inventory for even more savings. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook for fun-free contests and money-saving specials. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources in the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jazzco?
We do food trucks, cars. We do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses. We do logos, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jazzco. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
At 810 Billiards and Bowling, we've got everything you need for a good time. Drink up, chow down, rack 'em up, and knock 'em down. In other words, be social. Join us for happy hour every day from 3 to 7. Catch the big game on our giant screen and check out the newly expanded arcade and mini golf. Oh, and don't forget to try the new double-decker burger. It's a game changer. Let the fun begin at 810 Billiards and Bowling, 5609 Rogers Avenue, Suite F in Fort Smith. See you there.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
Hey, Ty Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials. You know Thursday is my personal favorite night. We're here every Thursday. Bucket special, hard to beat.
You gotta love the bucket special. I mean, you come in, you can get 5 domestic bottles in a bucket for $15, and then you get to hang out at Papa's. It's a great deal.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir. Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
5 to shoot, 4 to shoot, step back, 3, and he got it! Wagner from 25 on the right wing buries the three-pointer, 92-89. They're going to stop play to check the time.
I know we've given a lot of love to Jonas Aidoo this morning, and deservedly so, but DJ Wagner was 7 of 9, had 24 points, and added 5 assists in the game on Saturday. We cannot say enough about a kid that had to take – he was kind of the pseudo backup point guard when Boogie was here, played it when Boogie had foul trouble, sat on minutes, but has taken on a very expanded role and has – like, Arkansas is not a turnover-prone team. And the guy that's got the ball in his hands most of the time, Tommy, is a big reason for that.
Yeah, I had 4 turnovers on Saturday, but did so much else with the 24 points. Drew 5 fouls, didn't commit a single foul, which tells you a lot about his defense on Saturday, and grabbed a couple of boards. He had an outstanding game, and by the way, had 5 assists to go as well. So his assist to turnover ratio was in the positive. you don't win the game without him. Period.
Yeah, and on the subject of DJ, you mentioned the turnovers. Arkansas only had 10 overall. One of the more quirkier stats from the game. Arkansas has forced some turnovers at times this season, been pesky on the defensive side, especially lately. Mississippi State only had 2 turnovers that game. And they did not shoot the ball well in the first half. Second half, they caught fire and made it a game. But, I mean, there's other stats, like Arkansas won the rebounding by 12. You had a bunch of guys in double digits, like we alluded to earlier. But kind of odd to see Arkansas only get 2 turnovers from the Bulldogs and yet find a way to win still.
Yeah, and, what I've been saying for a long time, this game was going to come down and have a lot of meaning. And Arkansas was lucky to win that game at the end. Let's just be honest. Lucky to win, but a lot of times better to be lucky than good. And to do it with 7 players, you can't say enough about Billy Richmond and that block and the effort he put into that at the end. They were, looking at it on TV, they were carrying him off the floor. I tried to go back and see if he turned an ankle or something, or he was just exhausted,
cramping up.
They did put like a massage gun on him on the sideline. I saw, but that's how much effort went into winning that game. He had to be literally carried off the floor after that final block that sealed the win for Arkansas.
Yeah, and listen, I'll put my hands up when it came to this team being 0-5. I didn't think there was any way they would make the NCAA tournament. Yet we're on the brink of that. Selection Sunday will be this Sunday, I think 5 o'clock on CBS, and I expect Arkansas's name to be called. But Cal kind of joked about that after the game.
Because I know there were a bunch that jumped off the bandwagon. Raise your hand if you were one. Go ahead. You can admit it. There's some of you. I said it when I was introduced here. My team's early struggle. They figure it out. I figured it out with them.
Now, this team started to figure it out. Now, again, there's a lot that can happen during the NCAA tournament, but it looks like this team is heading that way. All right, that is your Hog Update this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Hey, did have baseball this weekend. Arkansas got another series victory non-conference.
2-1 pitch on Iredale is launched way back to left field, and that one is way back into the hog pen. Out of here. Iredale hits his 4th home run, drives in 3. The Hogs have 10 runs, and the second inning is not even complete. Vahiva leads off. And Iredale hits a high drive to deep left center. That one's going to get out of here. Brent Iredale has gone yard again.
So Arkansas, again, handles Portland pretty easily with the exception of one game. 5-3 was the closest, 10 to nothing, and then 20-3.
Yeah,
so
two-run rules. Arkansas has been on fire at the plate. Got Tuesday night against Central Arkansas in Fayetteville, then on the road to Oxford, Mississippi to open SEC play. I was also reading that's Arkansas's 32nd consecutive non-conference series win. They haven't lost a non-conference series at home since the 2014 season to South Alabama. So, they've done what you'd expect. It's another 15-1 start for this team, 3rd time that they've had a start of this nature. So can you keep it going? Can you go on the road and win 2 this weekend, get past UCA midweek, and then go win your first SEC series? That's going to be the ultimate measuring stick, is how you do over the next 10 weekends starting this Friday.
Best start in nearly 2 decades for this baseball team, 15-1. They started that same season in 2006 with the
third time
record.
under Dave. I think they've had this kind of start.
So
if you're looking for tickets for Tuesday night's game, and I know a lot of you that are in the Conway area that or maybe UCA alums listening from wherever, you can go to SeatGeek.com, the official resale marketplace of the Razorbacks, and find tickets for that weekend or for that one game, and then for other weekend series coming up. That's SeatGeek.com, the official resale marketplace of the Razorbacks.
Arkansas spring practice underway as well this week. Get a chance to talk with some players. Practice going to be open on Saturday, so there's going to be some just interest, I would guess, picking up a little bit. I know we're right in the middle of postseason basketball for the Razorbacks, being that they're playing on Wednesday and then next week. But you will start to see some conversation surrounding football and some guys that have been here and some guys that are on campus that you'll hear and see for the first time.
So busy week around college basketball. Download the Bet Saracen app and have it ready to go for this week. It really kind of gets you into tournament mode. That's the Bet Saracen app, the #1 sports betting app in Arkansas. It is a Hot Take Monday. What are your hot takes today? Brought to you by Wheels RV and the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party. It's coming up April the 12th and the 13th in Rogers behind Nukes on Pauline Whitaker Parkway. You'll have two of the state's largest RV dealers pairing up for the biggest show in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV and Moix RV with all the top brands and on-site financing, plus a variety of vendors and bounce houses for everyone to enjoy the bringing out the entire family as well. That's April 12th and 13th in Rogers, the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party.
It's Hot Take Monday on the Morning Rush. Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Hunting for a fortune? X marks the cash. 5 new lottery scratchers are loaded with prizes and waiting to be discovered. Multiply your prize 10, 50, up to 200 times. Ticket prices range from $1 to $20. Top prizes start at $5,000 and go all the way to $500,000. Find the X and find the cash. Available now at lottery retailers. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Nukes. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Oh, Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks. This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. This is the best time of year to save on a great selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus, act now and take advantage of $1,000 cash your way on select inventory for even more savings. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook for fun-free contests and money-saving specials. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources in the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up? Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mazard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Bartley.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
At 810 Billiards and Bowling, we've got everything you need for a good time. Drink up, chow down, rack 'em up, and knock 'em down. In other words, be social. Join us for happy hour every day from 3 to 7. Catch the big game on our giant screens and check out the newly expanded arcade and mini golf. Oh, and don't forget to try the new double-decker burger. It's a game changer. Let the fun begin at 810 Billiards and Bowling, 5609 Rogers Avenue, Suite F in Fort Smith. See you there.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
In a word or two, or maybe a short phrase, you can text this in. This will be fun on the Lewis Automotive text line, 877-377-6963. Gentlemen, I'll ask you to summarize what Arkansas' status is in relation to making the field of 68. How would you describe, if someone said, where does Arkansas stand with the tournament right now? How do you describe that? How do you sum that up into just a few words, less than a sentence?
Done deal.
Okay,
Firm.
done deal.
Firm.
Firm.
Firm. I like firm better.
Highly probable.
Yeah. I don't see.
But you said done deal, which means it doesn't matter what happens against South Carolina.
Yeah. That's okay. It's like, well, if this happened, 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 I could date Jessica Alba.
No.
That's the equivalent of how Arkansas could miss out on the NCAA tournament.
No.
That's the equivalent. I just don't see a scenario where it plays out like that. I really don't.
Even if you lose to South Carolina.
Yes.
And a lot of other teams win that shouldn't win their mid-major conference tournament.
Yes. Lenardi has you as a first four bye, which it's really weird how things have been changed. As in, like, you're not a last four team in. You're the first four bye from being out. It's just odd. They have, with moving from 64 to 68, and then they've retermed everything with how you make the NCAA tournament. And I realize people get like in the really nitty gritty in the weeds on this stuff, but yeah, I would say it's a done deal. Like on Sunday,
highly likely.
I'm
planning on being at the tournament. I mean, I'm planning on the Hogs being there. Absolutely. Have you checked the net ranking? It was 40.
I've got it on the rundown somewhere.
You got it? I haven't looked at it yet, but
39.
39, so it moved one spot after the win. I don't know what, you beat South Carolina. Does it move at all? Does it move? You could fall out of the 30s into 40 or 41 with a win.
Mm-hmm. And dude, Colin, will you pull that up and see where South Carolina's at? I think that's important sometimes when you just play teams. Now, if you win that game, Ole Miss will be a top 50 opponent, neutral side. So that's another quad one opportunity that could elevate you and at least playing you. And
let's not overplay the net ranking. I mean, it's one of several things they look at, but
they're 87 right now.
Okay. Yeah. So it's still quad 2 game, but it's not a quad 1 opportunity like you would have against Ole Miss, which on Thursday. For those that missed it earlier, Arkansas will play South Carolina this Wednesday, 12 o'clock. You're the first game on the SEC Network on Wednesday. If you win that, it'll be the first game on the SEC Network on Thursday against Ole Miss. And if you win that, you'll play Auburn, also first game, but it's going to shift to ESPN. Of course, we'll have it right here for you on ESPN Arkansas. Hit that line and hitthatline.com and our Hit That Line Now app by Taco Bell. Have we got any? I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, Austin and Fort Smith says locked.
Okay.
Is how he describes it. Clay from Rogers is 10 seed. And JT in Hot Springs says just don't leave it in the committee's hands. Go win and remove all doubt. I think you beat South Carolina. I feel this as strongly as you do right now, where it takes 20 scenarios to knock you out. I think there is no scenario if you beat South Carolina. That's the one crack where the door's not dead bolted yet.
The one crack. I like it.
And if you want to deadbolt the door and you are in the field, go beat South Carolina. Gives you 20 wins. And then from then on, everything else I think is just a bonus. I don't think this idea, well, if you beat Ole Miss and then you beat Auburn, maybe you can climb to a 7 seed or an 8 seed. No, that's not going to happen either.
I agree.
I don't think you're going to move. Other things would have to happen for you to even move a seed line, I think, at this point.
I think your ceiling's at 9?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I think it's interesting.
Which a 9 and an 8 are the same thing, essentially.
As we wrap up the Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question, here's Cal's take on the SEC Conference Tournament.
I don't care about the conference tournament, which is why we won it so many times, because I could care less. The tournament that matters is the NCAA tournament. Now, you play that tournament to get the best seed you can get. And if you're going to get to the finals, win. Or don't go to the finals and lose because you're exhausted and you got to play on Tuesday or Wednesday. So I'm like, let's play well and try to improve our seed.
So they wouldn't play on Tuesday or Wednesday.
They're not winning the tournament.
Yeah, that's what I took away.
They're not winning the
tournament. And I asked Matt on Saturday on Hog Reaction, I said, Matt, what do you think this team should, what mentality should they have? And I'll give him credit because that guy just wants to win. He said they should go into it wanting to raise another banner. And Arkansas only has one SEC conference tournament title in the history of the program. That was in 2000. I don't expect a run like they had 20-plus years ago to take place this week. But I think it would be an accomplishment to get to Friday. And that's what I think is going to happen. That's my hot take this morning is I truly believe that Arkansas is going to beat South Carolina, get revenge there. They're going to get revenge on Ole Miss. By the way, they've only played each of those teams once this season. And then they'll lose a game to Auburn. I could see the Tigers kind of steamrolling them because I think at that point they might be a little tired after 2 games under their belt. That is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. I know Christian and I was talking to them last week. Their spring league is underway. I had a really good text from Phil, conversation with Phil last week. One of his coworkers with Arkansas women basketball really enjoys it. And there's a lot of people that have taken advantage of Cart Pass Social. Now, the Masters Invitational is coming up at Cart Pass Social. It's going to start March the 17th and in Masters weekend. Play 18 holes at Augusta National. Each of the 4 weeks, there's only 25 spots available, and they're filling fast. Check them out online, cartpasssocial.com. It's BYOB at Cart Pass Social, 122 Grant Place in Lowell, the #1 indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas. All right, so the SEC tournament again underway this week. Any idea who you think's going to win? I think Alabama might go win this thing. I think Florida's locked in as a 1 seed. I think Auburn's locked in. Alabama is probably a 2 seed, but if they win the SEC tournament, it's them. It's the 3 locks: Duke, Auburn, Florida, and you might have another SEC 1 seed.
If someone other than Auburn wins the SEC title that is on that list you just said, it's Florida or Bama. They're a 1 seed. Auburn's a 1 seed. Duke's a 1 seed. Is Houston still there? I haven't looked at the latest project. Houston was kind of the team that had moved in. Tennessee dropped out. Obviously, they're not in that conversation right now. But 1 seed, 2 seed. I know there's some differences. How many 1 and 2 seeds will the SEC get? That's what we really ought to be looking at because, there's some pride in being the 1. I think Auburn's the overall #1. If you have a second team, say in Bama or Florida, that gets there, but then you also get, 4 teams on seed lines 1 or 2. that paves a pretty good road to at least the Sweet 16. Just take care of business,
Yeah.
right?
Tennessee, I guess, could be that other team, but I tend to agree with you that
They're not going to be a 1 seed.
Yeah, the SEC tournament, and then we've talked about the SEC, and one of the conversations we've had on this show is like, do you move it? Do you move the SEC tournament a day earlier in the week? Do you start it Tuesday and end it Saturday? Because by the time the SEC tournament championship game is done, 2:30, 3 o'clock, the show's in 2 hours. They've
already made up their mind. I mean,
but even a day ahead, I think would hold value. And I know Sunday's a big television day. I get that, but I think there would be value.
I think we're overstating what one game is going to do, unless it's a team. What year was it? 99 Arkansas made the run through the tournament, or was it 2000? 2000 Arkansas made that. Unless it's one of those situations, they may have to flip flop a team or two on a line or move them to a different, region. But we forget, we overemphasize one game in a 30-plus game season and act like, hey, one game's going to carry all this weight. It just generally doesn't. So you're not going to move a seed line or two based on winning that one game. I hear what you're saying, but I think the exposure on a Sunday, having a stage to yourself, is far greater for the conference.
Get some text here on the Ludus Automotive Group hotline. Jason from Mountain Home, if they lose to South Carolina, they better hope there are not upsets in the tournaments that could steal buys and steal opportunities. JT in Laurel, Mississippi looks at this week as a revenge tour, kind of like I alluded to on that. Chuck in Fayetteville seriously thinks they need one more win. If they lose to South Carolina, he believes they're done. Remember, Joe Lenardi is not on the selection committee. He can be very wishy-washy. That was his response.
Yeah, but he's pretty accurate when you look at, anybody can figure out the automatic bids, obviously. The other, was it 32, 33 at-large bids? He generally gets like all but one, all but two right. Doesn't mean he's got them on the right seed line or the right region or all that, but he gets the field pretty well nailed every year. So, I would listen to what he has to say as far as being in the field.
Did you have any issue with daylight savings?
Yes.
This
I
weekend?
slept way too late on Sunday.
Okay.
I couldn't sleep last night. I'm dragging Hind in a little bit this morning as a result, but I'll be okay. Took my my
Did
son
you
to
reset your
school
clocks
in the
already?
dark. Well, yeah, they do it automatic. Other than the oven, everything's automatic anymore. So
I had to set my analog alarm clock that I had to adjust, and I still can't figure out how to adjust my oven clock. Like the microwave does not have a clock, but the phone reset, the iPad reset, and I think I had to change the car one too. But outside of that, it's not like you used to when you had to change like 10 clocks in the house.
I woke up at like 7:15 yesterday morning and laid there and went back to sleep. Next thing I know, it's noon, which was really 11. I mean, I guess I needed it, but then I couldn't sleep last night.
Yeah, I never sleep well on Sunday nights.
Then I ran into you. That really woke me up. So
yeah, I always bring positive energy, and there was not any positive energy that actually made its way to the course. I shot 108 yesterday. I'm getting worse, which frustrates me, and I realized that. Well,
how many range sessions you having?
Listen. On regards to practicing golf, and this is a stupid take among my many stupid takes, but why practice when you can play?
Because playing's not practicing.
But the point, it's just so much fun to
play.
play
Do you have a practice plan? Do you have a plan when you go hit a trash can of golf balls?
Not at all.
None? Maybe I'll look into that.
Go through the clubs, try and break 90.
How's that working for you?
I've done it 3 times in my life, so not great.
Hey, if it's your turn to be the designated driver, take that role seriously. Do not consume alcohol, not even one drink. Don't depend on the luck of the Irish this month. Please remember, drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Highway Safety Office. It's 9:53. Got another hour of the morning rush coming up. We'll give you more details on our plans for this week as the SEC tournament starts on Wednesday. Friday, we'll do our Fence Man Friday picks. Hopefully the Hogs are playing, and we got the Razorbacks in one of our picks. If you need anything involving fencing, gates, powered automatic gates, custom work, welding on a gate or a fence, they do it all. 782-3936. 782-3936. The Fence Man he ain't afraid of no work.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Hey, do y'all know what time it is? It's about 2:30.
Summertime?
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha. Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha tees, flags, bases, loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs. Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479-STADIUM.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store. South of the North Pole. Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hawks.
This is The Morning Rush.
Come on.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacale, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
It's back, the Ultimate Challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever.
We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models.
Payments start at $199 a month.
Find the ultimate selection, the ultimate discounts, the ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade.
Only at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The Dandy White Perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
Free throw off the back of the iron, no good. Hogs by one. State's got the ball. 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Kugel, right side, trying to take Richmond off the dribble to the basket, knocked away. Melendez picks it up, no good at the horn. Arkansas win. Arkansas wins at the horn. Melendez tried to follow it up and went off the glass, no good. The Razorbacks have survived. 93-92, the final score. They're going crazy at Bud Walton Arena.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
The streets are paved with tourists, and the record companies flourish.
Thank goodness RJ Melendez missed that little bunny there. I know it was quick. Billy Richmond ends up getting a block on that play, and it's kind of a scramble for the ball. Tommy, Chuck characterized it. You survived. Well, you survived on Saturday against State. You got South Carolina this Wednesday. It's a Hot Take Monday. If you want to jump in here, do so on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963.
We just want to let y'all know we're going.
What were the words that we said? Say yours again, Colton, in regards to their NCAA tournament chances.
Firm.
I said done deal, and you said
highly probable.
Okay. Toss them out this morning.
Not as in concrete as you are. I still think if they beat South Carolina, that it is a done deal. It is finished at that point. Hot Take Monday. What is your hot take on that subject? What are your words that would describe Arkansas's tournament chances that seem very likely right now? Hot Take Monday brought to you by the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party with Wheels RV and Moix RV. They're teaming up, two of the state's largest RV dealers. Listen to this. Brand names like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago all will be there, plus on-site financing. They got fun for the whole family with bounce houses for the kids and a variety of vendors that will be there. Where's it going to be? When's it going to be? How about April 12th and the 13th in Rogers on Pauline Whitaker Parkway, just behind Nukes? So make your plan to be there and get the best price for spring camping season at the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, brought to you by Wheels RV.
So it was a happy day in Bud Walton Arena and a happy day for Razorback Nation getting that victory over State. But at the same time, it was kind of sad. I got a text from a buddy in Georgia. He's asking me, why are people ripping Hunter Yurachek on Twitter? And I hadn't even seen it to that point. So I get on Twitter. I do what I usually do, type in the subject line, which is Hunter Yurachek. And I see that you have a good chunk of the fan base that put out stuff like this. Like, after 15 years sitting in Section 110, Row 3 in Bud Walton Arena, today's the last day. We've been to great games and some really bad basketball. And through it all, we've been loyal Hog fans. Guess that doesn't mean much anymore if you have mega money, right? Hunter Yurachek. Another one. 4 seasons, great memories. Thanks for pushing out true fans that made Bud Walton Arena great. And then instead turning Bud Walton into a corporate cocktail party. There was several others, but I got at the same time. I was like, okay, this is an awesome. Like this team's now. Hey, in my mind, this team's going dancing. This team's going to the NCAA tournament. But for some, it was kind of like a sad point. And I get it because there are a good chunk of fans. And I don't know what the numbers are specifically. I don't have Ryan White's sheet in front of me, the head of the Razorback Foundation. But there are some that they watched their last game at Bud Walton Arena as season ticket holders because they can't afford to pay what needs to be paid.
And listen, my heart goes out to those people that have had those seats maybe, since 1992. And there's going to be some cases like that. I am empathetic to that. But what do you want Hunter Yurachek to do? You want more money to be competitive. You need more money in a revenue sharing world that's coming up. You want them to be smart business people that run the university, a smart businessman and the leader of the department.
25 million what scholarships and the revenue share.
Right. I mean,
about give or take.
I think some of that I get it, but also understand the other side of it. And you can't handcuff the athletic director from a revenue standpoint if you want to remain competitive or get to a competitive level.
And I do think
money's what makes college sports go round anymore.
And that is true. And I do think the clarification, if I remember this correctly, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I'm like 99% sure Ryan told us on this very show that if you pay $100, you will have, like if you're a returning season ticket holder and you pay that, I think $100 is the minimum, you will absolutely have a seat in Bud Walton Arena. Like you can't just kick someone out that's been a season ticket holder since 93 like you talked about or who's had season tickets. But for a lot of fans that have been sitting in those same seats for a decade or 2 decades or however long it was
when they opened,
that you might be not misplaced, but you will be placed in a different thing.
Right.
And fans feel like, well, if I can't sit in my seats that I've been sitting for 2-3 decades, then I don't want to fork over the money. And
and that's their
or
choice.
can't afford to, which is probably the better way to say that.
I get that. When we went through this is not new. We went through it in baseball with even fewer seats, and you had to make a choice. And listen, sometimes the choice is made for you. I mean, there's just certain amounts that I can't afford that. I can't afford to give $40,000 to have the best seats in the house. I get it. And I can't give, maybe the $10,000 that you got to have to stay in the lower bowl.
Yeah.
I am empathetic to what's going on here, but at the same time, I also understand the business dynamics of it, and you can't expect to have a program with a $8 million a year head coach and a highly paid staff in an NIL world and not do things to adjust your finances. It's just unfortunately the reality of where it's at. And here's the other ugly reality: if football ever gets any good consistently, it will be done there as well.
Yeah. I don't want to spend too much time on that because I think the better part of the discussion is the upcoming week, next week, and what Arkansas is able to accomplish on Saturday. But I don't want people to not know or fans not know that is that I don't want to get lost in translation or lost in the pile. That is something that I know some of you had to experience this past weekend.
And hopefully, in the end, there's going to be about 3,500 people, roughly, that have season tickets at Bud Walton Arena for next year. Hopefully you're one of those, or someone well enough you can get access to some tickets. But in the end, they're looking for to maximize donations through about 3,500 people. He said, well, there's 19,000 seats. Well, 19,000 seats, by the time you eliminate student tickets and university tickets, that brings that number down to, somewhere in the 15, 16 range. And then by the time people buy a pair or 4 or more, it's about 3,500 people that actually buy season tickets, and they want to maximize the most out of that. And I understand the business side of that as well.
Speaking of tickets, I do want to give a shout out. I had a chance to go to the Oklahoma City Thunder game on Friday night. Shout out to Joshua Lee, who's an Arkansas graduate that works for the network. Shout out to Derek Joe, who is Isaiah's dad, and I had an opportunity to sit with them after the game, and his wife Nicole, and also Don, who's Isaiah's personal trainer, and that was really
paying
cool.
off your debts here?
No, I just wanted to give a shout out to those guys because it was cool to get a chance to watch the game.
Oh, hey, give me some tickets and I'll give you a shout out. I mean, what are you paying debts here?
I don't have any debts. I thought it was nice to.
What did you buy the tickets?
I was planning.
No, okay, there you go.
I was planning on buying the tickets, and then I just wanted to see Zay after the game, and they all, again, Derek, Nicole, and Don hooked that up. So we had a great time. And Cal was, and the reason I bring that up, it's not because it's just a personal thing. Cal was in attendance on Sunday. He had Shea, Jamal Murray, Jalen, Isaiah, and there might be one. I might be missing one other player, but he was in Oklahoma City, and we just waxed the Nuggets, and I think they're playing in Denver tonight. As a Thunder fan, okay, here's the dumbest thing. When anyone says, like, you can't say we or can't say we, that's for, like, the objective media members. That's for the Tom Murphys. That's for people that are down the middle. Like,
so you're not objective.
No, I'm a fan that just happens to talk about this team.
Okay,
I'm fair.
Okay.
There's a difference between objective and fair. I'm fair.
There is. You're right.
I'm not objective. I'm not objective at all. But it was cool on Friday night. OKC sat like 7 guys. Like, Shea didn't play, Chet didn't play, Jalen Williams, J-Dub, not our Jalen Williams, didn't play. So Jalen Williams had his first ever triple-double, which was awesome. He was unbelievable.
Someone's got to put it up. Jay Will for the baseline. Jalen Williams just in front of the shot clock, knocks it down.
He was unbelievable in that game.
So I had someone that really, is objective with the NBA.
We're just going to start using this.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Because the Thunder have 7 players out, and they're playing some new guys right now. Is that? I mean, it's your team. Are y'all playing?
They sat.
Did y'all play some different players Friday night?
You're just gonna make fun of me for that. Yes, on Friday night they sat 7 guys.
Here's the theory, and it makes a lot of sense to me. You tell me if this holds water with you. The NBA has become, in all sports really, but particularly the NBA has become so analytical. So much film study, so much AI breaking it down, and you know all the tendencies, and you know everything there is to know about the opponent, right? Particularly when you're going to match up defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Am I on point so far?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so when you introduce 7 players to a lineup that haven't played a lot, they don't have that breakdown. They don't have that. So for a little while, you have an edge, and you can go put your heel on someone's throat for a few games when you introduce players that are going to have key roles, because
that makes sense.
The league doesn't have all the breakdown and the analytics, and they struggle to catch up. They eventually do, but I thought that was an interesting take on a sport I don't watch a lot, but I see it. I think college is becoming more and more that way because
there's plenty of tape on Arkansas.
AI, analytics, staff to do all that is real, and you do know everything about them. So when you get some players in a rotation that are talented, obviously you don't get to an NBA roster by being, sub average, you know. So these are adequate players, and then they struggle for a few games. And that's what the Thunder benefited from on Friday night.
And they're lucky that the deepest team in the league. And so I had a text. It's like, man, you missed all the great guys. I was like, I got to watch 2 Northside Grizzlies play pretty much the entire game. I mean, Jalen had 10, 11, and 11. Isaiah had 16, 6, and 6. I mean, they played great. So people were like, oh, you missed all this. Like, I watched the guys that I came to see. Like, I didn't care about, not that I wouldn't have minded to see Shea and some of the other guys. So to me,
any more shout outs? Any free food you got you need to take care of? Any other debts you need to pay here? Before we move on? No?
I don't think so.
All the shout outs done? You got your list? You check? I know it's in your planner.
Ronnie,
probably.
It's in the run now. Ronnie Brewer and Cal's former player assistant Tyler Eulis were also there on Sunday as well.
Right.
And it was Kason Wallace that I'd forgotten about. Who's the other guy? So that is that was the weekend before we came back and did a very jovial hog reaction. I feel like most of the hog reactions I've done with Matt on Saturday have not been great because they've lost. And it's just it's another.
Matt can only carry you so far.
No, that's true in the standpoint. So again, you got the victory that I think most of us assume will put this over the top in the SEC tournament, or NCAA tournament, I should say. What is an accomplishment for the SEC tournament? I've given my opinion. Win 2 games, get beat by Auburn.
I don't care about accomplishments in the SEC tournament. I think when you're playing with 7 guys, win 1 game to make sure you're in because of who you're playing, and get back home.
And you'll have a week off at least.
I don't care at all about making it to Friday. I mean, does that bolster your resume? Does that help? With ticket sales, and you talk about the reseeding and the donations. Yeah, I guess there's some ancillary benefits, but you know what helps more? A Sweet 16 run. And I don't think you can play 4 games in Nashville and make a Sweet 16 run.
Yeah. And I think, okay, so
they need to be over like sitting in the cold tub.
We're sitting here on March the 10th.
Thursday night.
Yeah, we're sitting here on March the 10th, and we're making declarative statements about this season. Like, this is how Cal's done this or Cal's done that. Cal put himself in this situation with the 9 guys. And there's truth to a lot of things that have been said or texted in or whatever on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. But to me, like, regardless of what happens this week, like you're talking about, because I understand where you're coming from, it all doesn't matter if they lose next Thursday or Friday. Like, if they get beat in the first round, it's just like, okay, you came all the way back, you clawed back to an NCAA tournament berth just to lose. Like, that's the if you
get to a conference tournament final and then don't make the second weekend, does it? I mean, because if you do that, then you're expecting second weekend.
Yes, I just again I'll say what I've said about Cal. Last 4 years, 1 NCAA tournament win. So we can talk about this, like getting and you have to at least respect to where they were at 0-5, dealing with the injuries. I understand that, but like it's all for naught if they don't do anything next week. Because this turn, I mean,
win one game, punch your ticket for sure, and get home. I don't have any expectations for Nashville. That's just me. Now, you know, you get in a game and you're, up 5, down 5 with 5 minutes to go, whatever it is, and the competitive juices start flowing. You want to win. Mm-hmm. You just want to win, period. But, I just don't think there's a lot to gain other than winning the first one to securely be in the field and then rest those 14 legs that are going to carry you however far that you go. Because you only got 7 guys. They don't need any more wear and tear.
Yeah.
Or risk to further injury.
I do have some news before we get to some of the stuff that Cal said. I got a random text from a gal named Gabby, and I'll read it verbatim. This is talking about last week with me dinging the door. Hey, Ty, it's Gabby. I've been meaning to text you and say that I got your note, and I checked the passenger door, and I didn't see anything big on it. Thanks for leaving the note thought. So last week, for those that missed it, opened the door was sitting there by itself. The wind gust hit it, and then it hit a car door next to it, left a note. But luckily, it wasn't severe enough where I'm going to have to pay, would you say, $800 or what it was screwing with me last week. I got scared a little bit because, like, I don't have $600 or $800 of just expendable income. And that was like, put on this card, put on this card, put on this card. So luckily,
Gabby?
Gabby.
She now has your number. You now have hers. Is Gabby?
There's a good chance it was a high school student. So no, I will not be pursuing that.
How do you know?
I'm not even going to ask.
How do you know it was a high school student?
Not even going to ask. Not even going to go down that road. So I'm just happy for the subject matter of the message that there wasn't enough damage. That's the only thing I'm concerned with. Period. End of story.
Couldn't even get that right, huh?
That what? I screwed it up. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I was still like, responsible.
I wouldn't have done that.
My responsibility took over. It's in my innate nature. Like, I was just like, I need to do the right thing.
Yeah,
and
that's commendable.
Thank you, Gabby, for not charging me what could have been in Tommy's mind $800 to fix it. That would have sucked. Oh, that's the good news from the weekend.
All right, we were talking about the NBA. We're talking about March Madness. If you haven't downloaded the Oaklawn Sports app, do that. And as a new customer, this is a great time of the year to sign up because you get $1,000 in bonus bets. Once you've made your deposit, you're automatically enrolled in the promotion. So you get a second chance on your first bet each of the first 10 days, up to $100 a day. So that's the $1,000 we're talking about when you download the Oaklawn Sports app and get going right now. Plus, we all love the parlay. Ty thinks he's always got a lock when it comes to a parlay. 3-leg parlays earn a profit boost of up to 10%, making it plus 1,000 bet plus 1,100 right now with the 10% profit boost with the Oaklawn Sports app. Funding's easy. It's the app to download with March Madness just around the corner. It's the Oaklawn Sports app from the brand you trust, Oaklawn.
All right, so Cal had plenty of things to say after the game, after Arkansas wins that 1-point victory. And I thought it was interesting, just his thoughts on the Gamecocks this week.
Unless you go to South Carolina and miss every single shot you have. And from what I just learned, that's who we're opening up the tournament with. I'm like, that was like a slugfest. So they're good. They're well coached, all that stuff.
Lamont Paris, the only way they're going to the NCAA tournament is if they win the whole thing. No team has started on Wednesday and won the SEC tournament, so don't expect that to happen. But I don't think this is going to be a lopsided victory for Arkansas. I think.
Well, I don't think they can play any worse offensively.
No.
Now, they still played a decent defensive game at South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
But,
the exception of not guarding Colin Murray Boyles.
Well, but I mean, it was like, what was it? 32 first half points.
And they'll probably just let him get his this game and try and shut everybody else down, which is a pretty good recipe.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to at least be able to throw it in the ocean. Can you throw it in the hotel pool?
At least.
Can we start there? Because they couldn't even throw it in the ocean at Columbia.
Here's something that was on my mind. Either Thero or who do you think is more likely to come back without having inside knowledge? Is it the guy that's been out for a while now and Boogie Flan? Do Thero? I mean, do you think is it one of the two or neither? I'm gonna go with neither. I mean, it's
at this point you wonder if. Well, I'm not.
I hope I'm wrong.
I haven't been expecting Boogie Flan, but I mean, I'm going to say neither come back at this point. I mean, we just had there haven't been a lot said, and someone floated the theory last week that hey, you don't say much until the committee's kind of giving you
which makes sense.
Your spot in the field.
Yeah.
And I agree with that line of thinking. I don't know that that's what's actually going on, but your resume was built with that guy. And if he does come back, and maybe he'll show up in the lineup somewhere in Nashville. I don't know.
I did see in the game.
You need him though to win.
Yeah, I did see in the game notes. I found this interesting. Now, not all of these games, have been great percentage wise, but John L. Davis has scored in double figures 10 of the last 12 games. We talked about Billy having his best career SEC day in assists and I think points as well. When you have more opportunity, and Matt put it as this on Saturday. It's like you show up to the arena knowing you're going to play at least 25 minutes a game. The lowest I think Billy played 21 minutes on Saturday, or sorry, Big Z played 21 minutes on Saturday. So I mean, your lowest total, unless you're just in foul trouble the whole time, you're going to get at least 20 minutes during the game.
Yeah, I mean, and I just thinking about another thought as you're going through that is you still look back, and we said it at the time, and we've said it since. You look back at the OU game at home, you look back at the LSU game on the road, you look back at South Carolina still, and you think, man, if you could have just gotten one of those three, two of those three, kind of, where you're at in the conversation. I don't think anyone's thinking Arkansas's on the outside looking in. What it would do to your quad 1 and 2 combined record. It add 2 more wins there. So that's the thing is if this thing doesn't pan out the way you want, you had plenty of opportunity, even with a short bench, and you let 3 games, if you win 1 or 2 of those 3 games I just mentioned, we're in a whole different line of thinking this morning.
Yep. And now it's time for
But that's spilt milk. Can't be crying.
Yep. And now it's time for a couple tournament stretches, which Jonas Adu talked about after the game.
Down 2 crucial players that we need on our team, but it's just us right now. We just got to be together with these last stretch of games going into the tournament, which is going to be really big for us to get some more wins than that and just stay together.
So I brought up John L. earlier. I think one of maybe the most important sequences during the game was him on Trevin Brazil gets that fast break layup attempt. Billy throws it over his head past half court. It's right at the end of the game. I think it's 30 or 20 seconds, whatever it was. And Trevin goes up for a layup, misses it. Ball gets tipped out. John L's got a wide open 3. Wide open. He's 3 of 5. He's knocked down his 3-pointers all game. And as a savvy veteran player, he elects to pull it back out. They set up, end up calling a timeout. John L. drives the rim, finds Jonas for the foul attempt. He gets up with like 1 or 2 seconds left and ends up making 1 of 2 free throws. At the time, I wrote that down because I thought it was the most important play of the game. I thought that a lot of players, and I wouldn't have been mad at John L. Davis. He hit 3 of 5 in that game from 3. It's like, that's in rhythm, good shot, that's fine. But instead, made the right move and helped Arkansas get that 1-point victory.
John has texted in on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Did we receive any votes in the top 25 this week? I'll tell you what, just ask Ruskin and Zach this afternoon. They'll have the answer as the polls come out. They'll love that question.
AP, I have not.
Well,
I'm going to guess you're
8 and 10 in your league. I don't think you're probably getting a lot of votes. You did beat number 25. Maybe you deserve some votes, but that's the least of our problems, John. I hear what you're saying, but that's the least of our problems. But please do me a favor and ask Ruskin and Zach the same question this afternoon.
All right. Is that something they go off of a lot? I haven't heard them discuss
Ruskin
that.
just loves it when you
lay into
ask
it
about receiving. But, well, if we extended the poll, so, we're going to ask about receiving votes. I would just love to hear the reaction.
All right.
Hey, we're brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. They have opened a second location in Sallisaw, Oklahoma. It's right across from the courthouse in Sequoyah County, but taking care of people in Sequoyah and LaFleur County, and also in Arkansas as well. They're licensed in both states. And not only do they handle all family law, but Jackie has 13 years in car wrecks, slip and falls, dog bite cases, and other matters that you might need help with. So if you've been in a wreck and you need to deal with the insurance companies, she can help you with that. And they understand that, we were talking earlier about tickets and donations and these things, that times are hard for all of us working class folks. And they understand you don't have $5,000 laying around for a retainer. They understand that, money down, monthly payments, and low flat fees are something that make them an affordable, attractive option for your legal representation. Hey, and the laws have changed. Joint custody, now the default. So you don't have to be afraid to go to trial, and they're successful when they do with Mock Legal Solutions. 479-769-1505, 769-1505, or go to mocklegalsolutions.com.
All right, quick break. We've got our SEC update coming up. We're going to take more calls and texts as well on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Still a lot to get to in the next 30 minutes of the Morning Rush.
You're listening to the Morning Rush on a Hot Take Monday, presented by Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're at the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Hey, do y'all know what time it is? It's about 2:30.
Summertime?
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha. Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha tees, flags, bases, loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs. Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479-STADIUM.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store. South of the North Pole. Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hawks.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Everybody think they own. Oh, my bad.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. This is the best time of year to save on a great selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus, act now and take advantage of $1,000 cash your way on select inventory for even more savings. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook for fun-free contests and money-saving specials. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources in the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The paint store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveway.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC buyers. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
5 on it, 5. Over to Sears at 3. Sears at 2. And 1 for the win.
That was Alabama, the Alabama Sports Radio Network. Chris Stewart on the call as the Crimson Tide, Mark Sears and company defeat their arch rival Auburn by 2 in the Jungle in Neville Arena this past Saturday. And Tommy, 2 best games of the day were one that was played in Bud Walton, and then what you called in this kind of snapshot last couple of years, and I kind of agree with you. It's the best rivalry in college basketball.
Yeah,
between
Duke, North
Alabama and
Carolina
Auburn.
hadn't been. So this has become the best in-state rivalry. They hate each other, and to win on for each of these games to come down to the visitor winning on the opponent's floor, probably even turns the knife a little bit more in this series. And as long as Bruce Pearl and Nate Oates are there, I don't think this is going to diminish at all. With these two coaches at the helm.
Mm-hmm. With North Carolina, I know we've talked about it a little bit, and yes, they have not been as near as good as what they have under Roy Williams, Dean Smith, of course, and a couple other coaches. But I do wonder, like Hubert Davis just got that contract extension, like what that changed. We talked about it. If an SEC job, if an SEC job is better than North Carolina, that's just something, if that job ever comes open again, to monitor when it comes to the SEC domino effect of coaches. Razorbacks, like we said, got a 1-point victory over Mississippi State this weekend, and Cal sure was happy about it, and he kind of had some fun with, hey, you play early, you win early, it's a lot of fun.
You know what's great about playing noon games? If you win, you have the rest of the day to enjoy.
And that's going to be the setup now for some of you, and that's more about the weekend, but for, I say some of you, the majority of you, the 12 o'clock start on Wednesday against South Carolina interrupts the workday, and it's going to be hard. You're either going to be listening here on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, or Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell, or you'll be got home watching and deciding you're taking a half day or whatnot. But that's going to be the setup for the next 3 days.
I'd plan my lunch around it for sure, and maybe you can listen for 30 minutes, then watch for an hour, and then listen for the back half of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So but it's definitely not good for fans to have that game at noon. But good for the radio audience. So we'll have it right here, ESPN Arkansas.
Key emphasis on that. South Carolina again noon on the SEC Network. Thursday noon against Ole Miss, and if you win that game, you'll take on Auburn on Friday. That game be on from SEC Network to ESPN. That Auburn game will be on that. Games in the SEC as we close out our SEC update this morning. South Carolina falls to Tennessee by 10. Florida gets another victory over Ole Miss, 90-71. Kentucky goes on the road and defeats Missouri, 91-83. A&M beats LSU. Georgia beats Vanderbilt, which helped you move to 9 in the SEC tournament. And then Oklahoma gets a win on the bubble as they defeat Texas by 4. So two teams that, like yourself, in some people's minds, are still on the bubble. Oklahoma and Georgia both got wins this weekend before they head to Nashville.
All right, that's your SEC update brought to you by WT Equipment. It might be downtime for some, but it's uptime for savings at WT Equipment in Springdale. For a limited time, choose between 0% financing or cashback offers on New Holland Workmaster Utility Series tractors and enjoy New Holland's 60-month, 2,000-hour Premier Protection Plan. It's included right now at no extra cost. So don't miss out on these wintertime exclusive deals available through March 31st at WT Equipment in Springdale. Give them a call at 479-442-8284 or go to WTEquip.com.
All right, let's go to Kevin in Rogers on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. If you want to jump in here, 877-377-6963. What's up, Kevin? Kevin, you there? All right, we'll try him again. Cecil has called in. Cecil, I know you had some fun with the game on Saturday.
Oh, man, it was an all delight, man. All delight, just like my homeboys say all the time. Yes, I enjoyed the game, man. Had some good seats. We had some recruits in. Hopefully we can get them and keep moving. We did go in some years ago with 13 wins and won the SEC championship, so we got a good team in that game. It was a really great game, and Adu played really well. I was surprised, man. If he can keep playing like that, we can win some games. I don't think we have any trouble beating South Carolina Wednesday, but it was like that Texas game too when we had like that 10-point lead, and then they just started cooking and got back in the game, but. Man, those last two shots were like, whoa, wait a minute, because they had two good shots and missed it at the end. But it was a great game. We had a baseball game. It was really too cold for me to go to that. And then I did miss the tournament here. I wanted to go, but when I pulled up, I didn't even see it on the internet. I thought I had my time right, but when I got there, it was over. So, but like I say, man, I enjoyed the game. And I think the way we've been winning, even though we did lose against South Carolina, and then we came back and win those other games, I think we got everything up to get in and win. And I think I was checking Boogie out on the, I watched the bench, and I could see he's really motivated. I know he's coming back next year. The way he acts and jumps up and down.
You're basing that on watching him from your seat?
Yes, that's what I'm basing it on.
Tell me.
He's motivated. Yeah, I think he's coming back, Tommy. I really do. That's just my opinion.
Can you come to my house and just sit at the dinner table and watch my wife and tell me what she's thinking? Because
she's coming back for another year.
21 years a week from today, and I'm not sure she's coming back for another week sometimes.
Oh, Tommy, it's something you ain't doing right, homeboy.
Well,
come on now.
Something. Multitude. Narrow that down. Yeah, 21 years next Monday. So.
Hey, 21 years, Tommy, you did great, man. I was married for 13 and the last 3 sucked.
Yeah.
So, man, I'm taking my hat off to you, man.
Yeah, well, 21.
But anyway, that's just my opinion. We all got opinions, man. We all got opinions.
I didn't know if you were, if you had ESPN up there.
Yeah, unless I don't think he's going to end up coming back. I hope you're right, because I think it would be better for him long term if he did. I do think so. Cecil brought up something important that we've yet to share this morning. He posted a picture with Nate Ament, who was the young man that was here on Saturday, top 5-star kid. They did the hog call with Darius Akov, who signed with Arkansas. He's the kid from IMG Academy that's an outstanding point guard. So not only did you have a player that kind of got introduced to Razorback Nation like in person for the first time, which I think is a cool thing that they've been doing. They started with the Must stuff, but you also got a kid that like got to take in a pretty big win on Saturday. And I don't know if that sold him 100%. I think there's other things he's probably thinking about that could get him to Arkansas, but I didn't hurt you on the recruiting trail either, that win.
Yeah, no, it never does. All right, let's hit the break. First, a word for Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. Going to be some beautiful weather this week, springtime type weather. Now's a good time to book that spring break trip getaway, or maybe you want to travel in April or May. They can do that for you. Last days of winter rates. So there's something for everyone at Gaston's. And it won't be long, they'll be opening the pool back up. They recently redid the entire pool complex at Gaston's, and you'll enjoy that for the family come summertime. And was there 9 or 10 weeks of school left? Hard to believe that the school year is about over, but be thinking about those trips to Gaston's for summertime as well. 870-431-5202. Book a cabin, get some restaurant reservations, and book a guided fishing trip at Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
It's Hot Take Monday on the Morning Rush. Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
5 to shoot, 4 to shoot, step back, 3, and he got it!
This is the Morning Rush.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast free internet to keep me connected to work, and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
That's 782-8940. That's the only number you need to know for all of your heating and air, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs. That's 782-8940, the only number you need to know.
It's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. To have a red truck rolling your way today for great American-made York products, give us a call at 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
At Evans Body Shop, we take pride in delivering exceptional customer service to our customers. Here's what some of them have to say.
It was the kindness that got me. Then I witnessed their work.
And their customer service was just exceptional. They are so kind and understanding, and they let you feel like you don't need to worry about anything, especially dealing with the insurance company. That was great, and the repair work was tremendous.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
How about this building? I mean, now we needed every drop of your energy.
That was John Calipari after the game on his radio show with Chuck and Z. And again, you heard the audience in the background there. That is something cool that they've done this season. I know we did
love that
in Lexington, but it is good. Good for that. He had plenty to say after the game. We'll get in more of what he said following Arkansas's 1-point victory coming up, and we'll also jump back in on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963 coming up in just a sec.
Hey, if you've got the winter blues, Burton Pools and Spas could warm you up with one of their brand new hot tubs from Hot Springs, and you can beat the winter blues during the hot tub sale. Save up to $7,000 on Hot Springs hot tubs, the world's best-selling brand. You can relax and enjoy more quality time with your family for as little as $50 a month. So say goodbye to the cold and hello to soothing hydrotherapy. Yes, sir. Burton Pools and Spas. Find them in Springdale, Greenland, and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas.
All right.
Water for a better life.
Kevin is in Rogers. Try this again. Kevin, you there?
Hey, brother. How are you doing, Ty?
Good.
Hey, Tommy. Morning. Yeah, good weekend. You know, tough game. You know, you knew Mississippi State would make a run. Tommy, I was leaving the house. I was caught. Do you feel pretty confident that they're in as of right now with where they're sitting? I think that they will beat South Carolina. How are you feeling about it?
I'm with you. I feel it's highly probable, but I think the only way to be on the outside looking in is to lose and look poorly again against South Carolina. That's the only crack you can leave open in the door. I think you can turn the deadbolt, Kevin. Kevin, I think you can turn the deadbolt on your seed line, or being in the field at least. I don't know about your seed line if you just beat South Carolina.
Yeah, the net rankings are a little confusing. Musk always complained about this towards the end of the year. I mean, actually, I was looking at them over the weekend, and we've talked about this. I watch them pretty closely. If you look at Oklahoma, you know, and as much as they struggled, they have one of the better with the bubble teams, including us. Quad 1 and Quad 2, they're 10 and 11 in Quad 1 and Quad 2s. Now they do have the Quad 3, and I guess that's what kills them. They have a Quad 3 loss. But I was looking at that and found that quite interesting. And Oklahoma fan, of course. But, you know, it gets kind of confusing. You know, I mean, I know they take other things in consideration, offensive and defensive efficiency and all that, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you've been looking at that.
Yeah, Kevin, should they weight the games a little more in the last 6, 8, some number? Because I think that's where Musk's frustration was a year ago. I think that's where you win a game, you beat a ranked team at home, you expect to be, you know, up several spots, and you don't move much because there's so much data, so many results that go into it. It's hard to move an average at this point with one game.
Well, and you've got so many teams in front of you, too, that are playing, and you know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just the conference. You're talking about all the conferences. I mean, Utah State's ahead of us. I mean, you pretty much want them, 39's an okay number. I mean, I think you're at 10 or 11. But they got to beat, they got 2 payback games possibly. I mean, if they would have took care of business of just 2 of their games at home, it could have beat Ole Miss. And I know we look at the games recently, but earlier in the year, you just anticipated them to play better at home. And I just hope that, I believe they'll show up. I believe that they're playing pretty well right now. They still have that lull. And, and my wife was going nuts. We've talked about her. I said, I'm telling you, if you take 5 possessions off and a team that's good, a good 3-point shooting team gets hot, a 16-point lead is nothing anymore. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, and I love what Ty said about what Nelly did, and he pulled that ball out, because if you remember, and I was just flabbergasted against Vanderbilt, Vandy had cut it to 9, and we made a steal, and he went in, a senior, 1-on-4. And I don't remember if you remember that play.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it didn't hurt us, but I was like, why would he do that? And I think maybe something was said to him, because he didn't do that against Mississippi State. But I remember that play vehemently. Vanderbilt had made a run. I think they may have even it was after the technical. They may have gotten it down to 7. They got a stop, or we stole the ball, and he went up 1 against 4. You just can't do those things.
That's when you
Fortunately,
go.
hopefully they learn.
You go, wolf, 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 and the guy just refuses to listen. He still goes up for a.
I mean, you're like, what is he doing? And fortunately, we came up with another stop. Yeah. But they're playing really well. I mean, arguably, you could say they played better on the road than they have at home. Now, maybe it's the time of the games. I don't know. I mean, but
Kevin, coming back to net rankings, there's 31 automatic bids into the field of 68. I wonder how many of those 31 will reside inside the top 40, because obviously that helps you if you're sitting at 39 or 40 or somewhere in that neighborhood.
Oh, I think they're in a good spot. Before, you'd always like to be in the 20s, but shoot, look at Baylor. They beat us, and they're 24th or 25th in the net, and they're predicted last 4 in based on the strength of the conference. And the Big 12's not that bad. They're not the ACC. I mean, so those things concern me when I see a team like Baylor, who could have beat Houston, but, they didn't. But their net's still in the mid-20s, and their last 4 in, and ours is a 39, and Palm's got us as a 10 seed, even though he was, kind of a jerk on the phone. But, I mean, and then you got, the other one, Lenardi's got us an 11, and, I don't know. I mean, you pretty much got to beat South Carolina.
What do you?
I mean, and they had a good.
Kevin, in his latest projection, Lenardi moved Arkansas to a 10. What do you think about a matchup against Kansas and Lexington? Because that's what he does, and Alabama would be that second round game.
I don't like that matchup at all. We played them once already. Of course, Bookie. I mean, I personally wouldn't like that matchup myself. They looked really good. Now they've been really inconsistent like us, but I mean, just being in is good.
The
good thing is pretty much it. Any game that any matchup we have, we will be the underdog.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
Different mentality than Cal's team usually have. Appreciate the call, Kevin. Some good stuff that morning. By the way, he mentioned Muss. You see how Colton, you kind of laughed at it earlier. See how irate Muss is at his team right now. There was a thought out there. It's like, hey, there might be somewhat of a draw to pit Cal and Muss against each other, the NCAA tournament teams.
Well, falling on hard times lately.
Yeah, Muss, unless they win the Big Ten tournament, they are not going to the NCAA tournament.
Can't win the Pac-12 this year. That bids is that?
No.
That's why there's one less.
Too big league.
Yeah. Well, it's been a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV. They're teaming up with Moix RV April 12th and 13th for the largest NWA RV show and outdoor party that you're going to get to experience. Great pricing, on-site financing, all the big brands, including Winnebago, Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, and more, plus Catalina and Vibe. Shouldn't leave them out. Variety of vendors and bounce houses for the kids. So make your plans. April 12th and the 13th, about a month away, for the NWA RV show and outdoor party. It'll be at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, behind Dukes and Rogers. It's the NWA RV show and outdoor party with Wheels RV.
Look, I've done this a long time. I've coached probably 21, 22 years. Why are you laughing, Z?
A lot more than that, Coach.
I don't know if I've had a more rewarding season because of what we went through. And I've had some, but this ranks right up there. And it's not over. It ain't over.
It ain't over. It starts in Nashville this week. Your postseason play does, and then we'll see where you end up come Selection Sunday. That's going to do it for us, though. Morning Rush is over today. That is going to do it. And halftime coming up next. Phil Elson, Matt Jones for Tommy Kraft and Colton Little. I'm Ty Richardson. We're going to be live in Nashville this week. Tell you more about that in the coming days. Excited about it. Hogs, Gamecocks, 12 o'clock on Wednesday.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by